The world of Snarf.
Hi guys, time again for another episode of Dividend Digest, so let's dig in. Again, yesterday's video was about Coca-Cola, a food and consumer-based company, and today I felt like probably it'd be a good idea to do PepsiCo. So, they're competing companies. You're either Pepsi or you're Coca-Cola. So I showed Coca-Cola yesterday. So today, let's take a look at Pepsi, just in case you're one or the other. So here we are. I'm doing my research here on M1 Finance. So PepsiCo, their ticker is PEP. So their share price currently is $115.64 at today's close. Their PE ratio is 13.3, whereas Coca-Cola's was 30, so maybe this is more appealing. Their dividend yield is slightly higher than that of Coca-Cola. This is 3.22% right now, whereas Coca-Cola was 3.13%. So, some different things to weigh here. They have a larger, or I say, a more expensive stock price, but there's a little bit better dividend yield, and their PE ratio seems to be more in check. Whereas Coca-Cola, lower stock price, you can get into it easier, but they have a slightly higher PE and just a little bit lower dividend yield. But one or the other, I don't know why you would have both in your portfolio, but you totally can. They're competing companies, but I guess maybe if they're both performing well, you can do that. That's not to say you don't have competing companies in your portfolio, but I guess if you're an emotional investor, you'll pick the one that you feel is going to perform better. Or if you're just in it for numbers and want to grow your earnings, you could have both, since they both seem to be performing well. So here on M1, I blew out the graph for 5 years. Dividends aren't showing right now, so I'll show you that in a second. But you can see how the stock has performed over the course of 5 years. It goes out to 80.85, and today it's 115, basically 115.64. So the stock itself has performed pretty well, but let's take a look at its dividends. So this is pretty nice. So I'm on Street Insider. This is where I grab a lot of just simple dividend amounts and yields and dates. But this is on PepsiCo. It goes all the way back to 2011. You can see their dividend was about 51.5 cents. It was probably like that the whole year. Then it had a 4.4% increase. Then it had a 5.6% increase. So you can see that this dividend is having some growth. Here they had a pretty significant jump, 15.4%, 7.3%. Here they did keep that 70.25 cent for looks like 2 years, but then they did increase it to 80 cent. Then it jumped to 92.75. So that's currently what it's sitting at. Dividends paying out 92.75, and that's each quarter. So that's a pretty nice dividend. You could be very happy with that. Comparable to that of Coca-Cola, depending on how much you've invested in the stock. So just a little bit on PepsiCo, non-alcoholic beverages, just like Coca-Cola. But PepsiCo also has foods and snacks. Some of their main brands: Pepsi, Gatorade, Mountain Dew, Tropicana, Quaker, Lay's, Doritos, and Cheetos. Sorry if you can hear my dog back there. She's rolling around on the ground. I guess she's got an itchy back. What are you doing, Delilah? But yeah, so Frito-Lay and Pepsi are probably the most known brands for PepsiCo, and is where a majority of their profits come from. So Pepsi generates 58% of its revenue in the United States. So United States based, definitely North American based. But let's get into the part that we all enjoy, the spreadsheet. So here we are, PepsiCo. I've punched in all the numbers. You can see 115.64, 3.22%, and it's showing, right at that like 93 cent dividend each quarter. So what if we invested $1,000 into PepsiCo and let it sit? So our first dividend payment would be a little over $8. You know, we're going to reinvest that. The next payment would be $8.11. Going to reinvest that. Next is $8.18, then $8.25. By the end of the year, we'd have $32.59. So the share price of PepsiCo is a little bit more than Coca-Cola, so it's going to buy less shares. But since it's such a high price, you know, that percentage that it yields is going to generate a bigger amount. So, I mean, it's all statistics and math. So don't think you're getting a better deal here or there. It's all based on percentages. So if we look at Coca-Cola, very similar. So Coca-Cola did $31.67. Pepsi was $32.59. So, I mean, it's within like $1 as far as dividends go. It's really kind of up to you what you want to do. So that was for 1 year. What if, you know, the next year you decide to drop another $1,000 into Pepsi because you really like what they're doing, or you think something great's going to happen? So then, you know, that first dividend payment of the second year, you'd see $16.36. The next payment, you'd see $16.49. The next, you'd see $16.63. And then the last payment, you'd see $16.76. So that's pretty cool. This does not take into account that growth that we were seeing on their dividend yield. So that is definitely something to consider, and that can totally happen. You know, they're going to probably increase that. I haven't seen them drop it in about, you know, looks like 8 years. They haven't decreased their dividend, and if anything, it's just been going up. Their yield has really been increasing there. So, I mean, that's something to consider when picking between, you know, Coca-Cola or Pepsi. Or maybe you're not even picking between the two. Maybe you're just trying to pick another stock to add to your portfolio to generate some passive income with dividends. So it's just something to think about, that, hey, you know, this might be a good dividend player, and, you know, I'm going to see some good dividend growth on that. So there we go. There's PepsiCo. So now we have Coca-Cola done, we have PepsiCo done, and I'll kind of let you guys decide from there. That's all I got for today's video. Just a very brief overview of PepsiCo versus Coca-Cola and what you want to do with it. So, you know, compare the two videos, see which one you want to go with, or both, or neither. You know, it's totally up to you. But as always, thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. You know, hit that bell notification. That way you know when it's time to do some Dividend Digest. We'll just consider that like a dinner bell. Time to digest some dividends. Go ahead, leave a comment. Let me know what stocks you'd like to see in the future, and I'll catch you later. Thanks.